Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited. We're exploring French chic for fall. You know, that effortless kind of style that feels polished but relaxed, cozy, elegant, a bit moody, full of character. I'll share what defines French fall style, how to build your wardrobe around it, what pieces to splurge on versus save on, and ways to interpret it if you're young or wanting something more modern. Let's cozy up. Let's get inspired. So, what really is French chic? It's not just berets, stripes, or red lipstick. At its core, it's a balance of ease and refinement. Outfits look like they were chosen in 5 minutes, but somehow everything works together. You'll often see very simple clothes, but they're chosen with intention. A shirt that drapes just right, jeans that actually fit, a coat that looks lived in yet sharp. The magic is in that contrast. Casual next to dressy, softness next to structure. A silk blouse under a rugged wool coat, sneakers with tailored trousers, a vintage scarf tied casually around the neck. Nothing looks forced, and that's what gives it charm. When fall arrives, the focus shifts to outerwear and texture. The coat becomes the centerpiece. It could be a classic trench, a long wool coat, or even a leather jacket. Underneath, you'll often find knitwear, maybe a fine turtleneck or a chunky cardigan. Shoes change too. Ballet flats don't disappear, but boots start to take over. Ankle boots, block heel boots, sleek loafers. Sneakers are still there, but usually minimal, almost understated. And then there are the accessories. A wool scarf casually wrapped, a structured leather bag, small gold hoops, or a delicate chain. Sometimes even a beret, but it's always more subtle than costume. One of the things that makes fall French style so recognizable is the palette. Neutrals still form the base: camel, cream, navy, black, olive, gray, but they're not the whole story. Red, in particular, shows up a lot. Sometimes it's a red knit, sometimes a bag, and of course, a red lip. It's a color that adds energy to an otherwise understated look, and it's used with confidence. Patterns also play a bigger role than people might think. Stripes, checks, and florals are part of the everyday mix. They're not overwhelming, but they're not rare either. They weave in often enough to keep outfits lively. A striped sweater under a coat, a checked blazer, a floral dress layered with boots. These small touches add variety without disturbing the overall balance. Textures keep everything seasonal. Wool coats, cashmere knits, leather boots, suede bags, all those tactile fabrics that make fall outfits feel rich. Lighter silks or satins still sneak in, often in the form of a scarf or blouse to contrast the heavier layers. What really stands out in French fall style is the way outfits are shaped. The silhouettes aren't extreme, nothing skin-tight head to toe, and nothing swallowed up in fabric either. Instead, it's about balance. If the coat is oversized, the trousers underneath are slimmer. If the skirt is flowing, the sweater on top is more fitted. That contrast is what makes the look feel intentional but not forced. You'll often see mid-length skirts or dresses, straight-leg trousers, and coats that skim rather than cling. Knits tend to have a bit of looseness, but they're styled so the body still has shape. A tuck at the waist, a belt around a coat, or simply the way sleeves are pushed up. The result is movement without messiness. Outfits look comfortable to walk in, to sit in at a cafe, to live in. And that ease is what makes the proportions so timeless. French chic isn't stuck in the past. It evolves with each new generation. Today, you'll see the same classic pieces: blazers, trenches, straight jeans, but styled with a fresher, sometimes bolder energy. Younger women often bring in sneakers where older icons might have chosen flats. Or they'll wear chunkier boots with something delicate like a slip dress. Vintage is a big part of the mix now too. Secondhand coats, old leather bags, scarves that feel like they've been passed down. That touch of imperfection makes the look feel lived in and personal. There's also more freedom with layering. A graphic tee under a blazer, knitwear draped over the shoulders, silk dresses worn in daylight with boots. The overall effect is still unmistakably French chic, but with little twists that keep it modern, a style that nods to tradition while feeling current. If you want to channel this look for fall, here are the essentials that really carry it. A classic trench coat, a long wool coat in black, gray, or camel. Turtlenecks, cream, charcoal, maybe burgundy. A couple of good knits, one chunky, one fine. Straight leg jeans, ideally dark wash. Tailored trousers for dressier days. A silk blouse in white or ivory. A midi dress you can layer with coats and boots. Shoes, loafers, ankle boots, clean sneakers. Accessories, a scarf, a belt, minimal jewelry, and a structured handbag. And then the extras. A leather moto jacket, patterned tights, maybe a slip dress, maybe a beret if it feels natural to you. Before we get into the women shaping French chic today, I think it's important to look back at where it all started. The roots of this style come from a handful of icons whose looks defined an era and still influence the way we dress every fall. Jane Birkin's style was all about simplicity with personality. A basket bag slung over the arm, perfectly worn jeans, a t-shirt or a blouse that looked like it had been lived in. She captured ease like no one else, and that's why she still inspires so many people today. Françoise Hardy brought a sharper edge. She leaned into tailored coats, structured silhouettes, and pieces that looked a little more modern and streamlined. Her style was cool, understated, and quietly powerful. Brigitte Bardot gave French style a playful edge. She mixed stripes, short skirts, and ballet flats with animal print coats and leather pieces that felt bold for the time. Those combinations turned her everyday looks into lasting icons. Of course, French chic didn't stop with the past. The spirit of those icons lives on, but today it's being reinterpreted by a new generation of women who bring their own personality and perspective to it. Jeanne Damas is almost the modern face of Parisian style. Her look is vintage-tinged, with lots of relaxed denim, blouses, and red lips, but she never looks like she's playing dress-up. It feels authentic, as if she just pulled pieces from her closet that she's worn for years. Even though she's British, Alexa Chung has long embodied that Parisian sensibility. She mixes playful details, like minis or quirky patterns, with timeless staples such as blazers and loafers. Her style proves that French chic doesn't have to be French by passport. It's more about the mood. Melody Banfield brings softness to the aesthetic. Her outfits often feel dreamy, leaning into floaty dresses, delicate knits, and tones that carry a hint of nostalgia. It's French chic through a very romantic lens. Elodie Romy captures the everyday ease of French chic. Her looks are wearable and grounded, jeans, coats, knits, with subtle styling choices that make them memorable. She makes casual look refined without losing that lived-in feel. Marielle Heon shows the minimalist side of French chic. Clean cuts, quiet colors, unfussy shapes. Her outfits remind us that less really is more, and that the absence of extra details can be just as powerful as adding them. Camille Yolaine brings in a sense of whimsy. Think romantic blouses, little vintage touches, colors that feel painterly. She proves that French chic isn't only sleek and minimal, it can also be poetic, playful, and lighthearted. As you're watching these outfits come up on screen, notice how the strength of French fall style isn't about having endless options. It's about knowing how to mix a few key pieces in different ways. The same coat can feel completely new when it's layered over denim one day and a dress the next. You'll see that textures do most of the work. Wool against silk, leather with cashmere, a soft knit under something structured. That mix of materials creates depth without piling on unnecessary layers. Another detail worth paying attention to is balance. A relaxed top is grounded with something more tailored, and when the silhouette is looser, the accessories bring definition. Even the smallest touch, a scarf at the neck, a belt at the waist, the right pair of shoes, shifts the whole outfit into something polished. And then there's the color story. The foundation stays neutral, but every so often, a pop of red or a patterned piece makes everything feel alive. It could be stripes, checks, or florals. Not loud, but just enough to add character. What ties all of these looks together is that they never feel overdone. The outfits look lived in, ready for a walk through the city or a coffee on a cloudy morning. French chic isn't about perfection. It's about looking at ease while still feeling thoughtful in what you wear. Now, I think it's impossible to talk about French chic without talking about the mood around it. Because yes, the clothes matter. But the atmosphere is what makes them magical. Picture this. It's a crisp fall morning in Paris. The light is a little golden, leaves are crunching underfoot. Someone walks by in a long coat, scarf tossed over their shoulder, hair slightly undone, maybe with a baguette peeking out of their bag. Nothing about it feels staged, but it looks like a painting. That's the energy we're chasing here. There's this sense of nonchalance, this quiet confidence that comes with the style. A scarf isn't tied perfectly, it's thrown on. Hair isn't overly styled, it's just natural. A red lip looks bold, but it's paired with almost no other makeup. It's always about finding that balance between effort and ease. And the mood shifts with the season too. Fall adds this coziness, this sense of layering up against the chill while still wanting to look elegant. It's coats swinging open as you walk, knits peeking out at the cuffs, boots clicking against the pavement. It's clothes that work for a cafe terrace, but also for wandering down side streets or hopping on the metro. So yes, French chic is about clothing, but it's also about this way of carrying yourself. That little air of confidence, that sense of being comfortable in your own skin. And here's the part I love most. You don't need to live in Paris to dress this way. French chic isn't a location, it's a mindset. You can bring it into your wardrobe wherever you are. If you live somewhere warmer, maybe you won't need the heaviest wool coats, but you can still play with light trench coats and layering. If you're in a colder climate, you can lean into thicker knits and heavier boots. But keep the color palette and the balance that makes it feel French. And it doesn't have to come from big designer labels either. Some of the best French-inspired outfits are built from vintage pieces or secondhand finds. That's actually part of the charm. The idea that your clothes have a story. Maybe your scarf used to belong to your mom, maybe your bag came from a flea market, maybe your coat has been with you for years. Those details give the outfit personality. Most importantly, make it feel like you. If you're drawn to a more minimal look, keep it pared back and structured. If you're more romantic, lean into florals, softer fabrics, and delicate accessories. French chic has room for both, because at the end of the day, it's not about copying. It's about capturing that balance of elegance and ease in your own way. So, wherever you are, you can take these ideas and translate them into your daily life. That's what makes the style so universal. It's not a costume, it's an attitude, and that's why it never goes out of fashion. And that's really the beauty of French chic in the fall. It isn't about a checklist of clothes or following a strict formula. It's more like a rhythm, the way you throw on a coat before heading out the door, the little splash of red that makes you feel awake on a gray morning, the comfort of a knit that's been with you for years. It's everyday life, just dressed with a bit more poetry. I think that's why this style never gets old. Trends come and go, but the feeling of ease, of looking polished without losing yourself in the process, that sticks. And anyone can tap into it. You don't need to be in Paris, you don't need the fanciest labels. You just need to notice how textures, balance, and small details shift the way an outfit feels. So as fall settles in, maybe try adding one thing that makes you feel a little more you. Whether it's a bold red, a favorite scarf, or just the way you layer pieces you already own. Thanks for being here with me today. If this video gave you a bit of inspiration, let me know in the comments what your go-to fall outfit is. I'd love to hear your take on this style. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep exploring fashion together. And until next time, à bientôt.